Cheers.
Cheers to each other. Cheers to God. Like, let's get this bitch started.
Hey, this is Zoe and Ashley, and you're listening to an episode of Not My Therapist Couch.
So, New Year's resolutions.
Yes.
What's your just like straight up opinion about them?
I just think that they're stupid. That they're stupid. I mean, I don't agree with them. I think that if you're going to make changes, do it as you see fit, not like waiting until a specific date to do that. I think they're kind of toxic too, in my opinion, like New Year's resolutions. They set an expectation that's kind of hard to uh, achieve, I guess, in that like you set up for failure basically. Um, and then the
It's like the all
before,
or nothing mentality.
yeah, exactly. Just like the before, the resolution of like, oh well, like if you're gonna go on a diet or whatever, a lot of people will just like eat all of the things that they want to eat, and then all of a sudden restrict heavily, and then expect to be successful. What do you think about it?
I think that it probably started off with like good intentions, like a
Yeah,
lot of things do. But I think it, like you said, it's just so toxic. And I think it's a very much all or nothing thing where people are like, oh, it's the start of the year. I'm going to go all in, or like, what's the point kind of
right.
thing. Um, I mean, so many people are like that where it's like, oh, if I'm going to start working out more and then I take one day off and now I feel like a failure because I didn't stick to my New Year's resolution that I was going to work out more. And it's like, well, actually, it's good for you to take days off because your body needs to recover. But then they like get stuck in this toxic mentality of like, no, but I'm starting fresh.
Yeah.
Like, or you could just do it when you think about it instead of waiting until the first of the year.
Right. And I think it's like a poor social construct, really. Like you see it all over in ads and on like social media of like, oh, what is your New Year's resolution? Or hey, join this gym because we know you're all going to do your New Year's resolutions. And I feel like it's almost gimmicky in a way too, in a way for companies to make money, but also like feed that toxic. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but that like that toxic construct of a New Year's resolution.
It's like attacking perfectionism.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, I don't know about you, but in the past, it's like I would like, I'm going to start a diet Monday, or I'm going to start my New Year's resolution is to X, Y, Z, whatever it is. And the moment that I screw up, I'm like, well, screw it. And then I end up worse than I was before, or I end up obsessing and being super unhealthy about it because I said I was going to do this year. And it just like sets you up to be upset with yourself.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if I've ever set a New Year's resolution.
Well, good for you.
Like like not necessarily intentionally avoiding it or anything, but I just don't think I've ever like set one. And I
Yeah.
I think it was just because it was like I don't know, I think I always just thought, well, if I want to make a change or something, like why am I going to wait for it?
Yeah.
But I think kind of what we've been talking about before of like instead of New Year's resolutions, it's more of just like I have a goal.
Right.
So a lot of people use the end of the year to do like a reflection of the whole year. And then that's why they choose certain resolutions of like, hey, I didn't really prioritize my health this year. That's what I want my New Year's resolution to be. When it really is just like I'm just going to set a goal to prioritize it more kind of thing. Like I believe more in goals than I do in resolutions.
Right. Because the goal, I don't know, at least in my mind, when we're talking about a goal, it's more realistic, more obtainable because you can make small goals to then get to the big goal. Um, and in my experience, making the smaller goals to end up at the big goal has been more successful because it's not that all or nothing. It's the, hey, I'm progressing. I'm not looking for perfectionism. And that's kind of like going back to what you said of like, sets up that perfectionist thing when you talk about a resolution rather than a goal. Like, you're not going to say, I want to run a 5K tomorrow, but you could, like, it would be different saying just the way you're saying it and presenting it to yourself, is like, okay, well, I'm going to start with a 1 mile walk and I'm going to do that for 2 weeks and whatever. That those are goals, not like expecting that tomorrow you're going to just have it all together.
Right. And I think the term resolution is also like problematic just in itself. Like just the word resolution. Like forget about New Year's resolutions. Like you're resolving something, but that's to say that there was something wrong in the first place. Like there's nothing like if you didn't work out a lot, like there's nothing necessarily or inherently wrong with that. If you
Right.
didn't eat a certain way, like there's nothing inherently wrong with that.
Hmm.
If you didn't pray enough, if you are like of any religion, whatever it is, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But then people are going to make that their New Year's resolution as if there was something wrong with that or like they
Right.
did something wrong. And it's like, well, no, I need to fix it.
Right. Yeah. No, that's a really good point because like you said, there's nothing inherently wrong, but if you want to make changes for your own health or your own well-being or your own spiritual journey, that's a lot different than saying like, oh, well, I'm going to do this resolution because to me it sounds like, well, I screwed up before, so I'm going to make sure that I get it under control now.
Right. So, on that note, I want to look at some of the top New Year's resolutions
All
from
right.
this survey from YouGov, which I've literally never heard about, but apparently they do it every year for I don't even know how long. Um, but from the survey, it says that 25% of Americans have a New Year's resolution to exercise more, and then kind of encompassing in that, there's a few like high up that are along those lines of eating healthier and improving physical health, losing weight. Um, so, what's your take on that? Yes or no?
On on what?
On like making that your New Year's resolution.
Of like health or like I'm sorry. I There was
So
a lot
it says
there.
you're good. So it says in 2026, Americans are most likely to resolve to exercise more, be happier, and eat healthier. So taking out the be happy part because we can touch on
Yeah.
that in a second. But what's your opinion on setting like eating healthier or exercising more to be your New Year's resolution to be like, come January 1st, like that's what I'm going to prioritize? Like, is that if you set New Year's resolutions?
Yeah. No, I don't vibe with that at all. Because for me personally, I get obsessive about those things. Um, it ends up being like bashing myself more than I already do about those areas of my life. So I have set those resolutions in the past before I've done a lot of healing. And it really does like, it brings you down because it's almost like you said earlier, it's like, well, something's wrong with me, so I have to do that. I wouldn't make that my priority, or like my resolution. If I wanted to do something with like eating better or exercising more, that would be something that I'd implement at any point in time, not as like an overall goal for the year. If I were to set resolutions, that would definitely not be one of them. What
Yeah,
about you?
I agree. I think also saying exercising more or eating healthier, like what does that mean? Cuz
Yeah,
like if you are exercising, do you now feel like it's not enough? But why? So like if you are exercising, 3 times a week, why does that not feel enough? Is it
right,
because it's being pushed by social media, which we know happens all the time, and like
right,
magazines that you see in the checkout aisle at grocery stores, and
right,
you scroll TikTok and Instagram, and there's all these pretty people like with you haven't seen it yet, but with the housemaid, there's a very particular scene, and it has caused I don't want to say a trend, but it's definitely caused a slew of videos to be created of women basically making jokes about how they were going to like not eat or like get really really in shape so that they could look like Sydney Sweeney because
mm,
she looks incredible in that scene.
yeah,
um, and so like I totally understand like how that can lead to that, but it's like, well, what does more mean? Like, you know, and
yeah,
like I'm just curious about what that means, or like what does eating healthier mean? Because to make it a resolution, like, but do you have a plan for that? Do you have an actual idea of what that even means? Or are you saying that because you think that what you're doing isn't good enough?
right. And I like going like digging back into when I would set New Year's resolutions, it was almost always to lose weight. And going way back, it's like I used to cut out magazine pictures of what I wanted to look like and, take before and after photos of my body. Um, and it was to obtain something that society says is acceptable. Um, so when I hear eat healthier, eat or exercise more, it's basically like society's version of more. Because I mean, something that I am trying to embrace is that there is health at every size, and that's not really portrayed much in social media or in the media in general. Like you said, the magazines still have the skinny beautiful model women on them. um, and it's like set your New Year's resolution, and it's got this woman that is has no flaws on it. So I
Which is a
definitely
lie too, because
right.
of all the airbrushing and touch ups and all of
Right.
that.
Right. And the Botox and the plastic surgery and all of those things. Yeah. I think that making that a resolution is based on society. I don't think it's for the most part, I guess. Maybe other people would disagree, but for me personally, I think that it was more of a comparison game for me with that.
Same. I
Yeah.
agree. The next highest one on their survey at 23% was being happy. And I
Oh, what a
which
concept.
like yeah, that'd be incredible. Like, beautiful. Let's be happy. But I just don't know, like being happy is too broad
Yeah.
to be even just a goal.
Yeah.
Like that's not attainable,
Right.
or it's not measurable
Right.
in a
There's
way of like, okay, but like what are you gonna, like how are you gonna know that you're happy? Kind
right.
of like it has to be measurable. And going back to eating healthier or exercising more, like it has to be measurable. All
Right.
goals have to be measurable. Like so you have to have a foundation and a goal of like what you're trying to get to, but it has to be measurable. So just to say, oh, I want to eat healthier, but like what does that mean? Well, I want to be
Right.
happy, but what does that mean? And like how are you going to do it? So
Right.
being happy as a New Year's resolution isn't really a New Year's resolution.
Right. Well, because I mean, what is happy for you is might be different for me, and do we even really know what happy is for us yet? I don't really know, and again, like the measurable. I mean, it would be different if you were saying, I want to journal more. I want to do things that bring me joy, like, I don't know, going and taking photos of nature or spending time with my child more or gardening. Those are things that will lead to more of a more fulfilling and happy mood, I would assume. But like to say, for my New Year's resolution, I'm going to be happy. What does that even mean?
Start starting January 1st, I'm going to be happy.
And there's no
Like,
mood that's going to bring me down. I'm just going to be happy.
and
Okay.
then I'm going to have one day that I'm sad and, well, fuck it. What's the point of being happy?
I
My New
blew
Year's
it.
resolution, yeah. No, like that's literally how it is. Instead of setting a goal of I really want to prioritize my mental health. So, right now, when I'm setting my New Year's resolution on December 29th, whenever it is,
Right.
instead of waiting until the 1st, I'm going to start looking on December 29th when I say it,
Right.
or the 30th, or even the 31st, whenever you decide what your resolution is. Instead of waiting a few days, just go start doing your research. Like, why are we waiting?
Right. Well, so like that, I I guess I want to bring it up now. So, what do you think about vision boards? Do you think that's more healthy than like a New Year's resolution? I mean, because you're kind of making goals in a vision board. I don't know how much you know about them, but I know a lot of people do those as well.
Yeah, I think it depends on the intent behind your vision board.
Yeah.
Just like the intent behind goals, too. Like I can
Yeah.
set a goal, but like what's my intent behind it?
Right.
Like if my goal is to lose weight, that's what I'm setting. Is it because I'm trying to please people or is it because I want to work on my health?
Right.
Like two very different intentions. And I think that's also why resolutions are problematic because there's not really an intention behind it other than it's quote unquote tradition.
Right.
Everyone does it at the end of the year.
And do you think that it's even more toxic than it was back in the day, like with social media? Because I feel like a lot of people do content based on New Year's resolutions, based on vision boards or whatever, what have you. And they say it's for like accountability. But
Yeah. I like the concept of vision boards, but I
yeah,
also think that vision boards should be used at any time. Like, it doesn't have to be New Year's kind of
right,
thing. Like, it could be a Wednesday night in March. Like, be
right,
like, I kind of have an idea of like kind of where I want my life to go for the next couple of months.
right,
I'm going to make a vision board kind of
right.
thing.
Well, and then I think about like when I'm filling out my planner or my calendar or whatever, or I'm journaling, I usually do set some goals for the week then, like on a weekly basis, or sometimes it's like monthly or every couple weeks of things that just practical things that I need to do and get done. And then things that I want to do better, or not, maybe I shouldn't use the word better, but that I would want to be more intentional about doing for myself. But it's not like I'm setting a date that I want to do this and not, I think it's different when we're waiting for a date to start that, like for a
Yeah.
resolution or a, goal.
Yeah. I think with anything, it's intention. Like, intention matters. And I
Right.
think just the concept of New Year's resolutions, there's not really a whole lot of intention behind a lot of decisions that are made. Because I think also, like, based off of what I was reading from these polls, was that, like, eating healthier has been at the top of their list for years.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably because it's what people expect or maybe feel like they're expected to say of like, oh, well, I feel like I should eat healthier because I ate out X amount of times. Or I
Right.
feel like I'm supposed to say I want to exercise more. When it's
Yeah.
like, but what do you like? What's your actual goal for yourself?
Right. Right. Like I think it's different when you're making a goal of like, because your health is kind of going downhill, you want to get your diabetes in order, or you want to consult with a dietitian for eating issues or something like that. It's a little bit different than I feel like the number one, obviously, according to the polls and in general, is always the lose weight, exercise more, get a gym membership. And I wonder if that's just like an antiquated ideal that has been around for forever to, oh, well, everyone could be healthier, everyone could lose weight, everyone can attain this whatever.
Right. Yeah. I agree. I don't know. I think it's just a problematic thing
Yes, it is.
overall.
Yeah.
I mean, even I'm not even setting a goal for like the whole year.
Mm-mm.
Like we've talked about kind of goals that we have for right now that we've already started working on. We didn't wait until the first to
Right.
start it. Like but like for mine, I talked about it today with you about wanting to get better about sourdough and like really learning that skill. And I bought all my stuff today. I didn't I didn't go wait a few days or I'm going to wait till Monday cuz it's the start of or I guess Sunday. I don't know why everyone says Monday is the start of the week cuz in every
Yeah.
calendar it's Sunday. But anyway, that's besides the point. Like, I didn't go wait until the start of a week or the start of, oh, well, I'm going to wait until February 1st
Well, how
because
dare you like not do it for January 1st? Like, how
I
dare
know.
you?
How dare I? I thought about it after the fact and
The
then
third? Are you
decided,
kidding
oh,
me?
I know. I'm just going to jump on it right now. Uh, but but that's not a goal that I'm going to have for the whole year
No.
because I'm praying that I don't need the whole year to get it down, you know? But
Yeah.
you're a social worker, so like when you set goals in therapy and things like that, you don't set a goal for a year.
No.
You set a goal and then you revisit it in 2 or 3 months.
Right. You're
And that's the
constantly
problem with
reevaluating.
resolutions.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
they set
Constantly.
resolutions for the whole year. So then that way, when it's like, okay, well, it starts getting hard, you know, the end of January and then beginning of February. And then it's like, well, shoot, I still have the rest of the year to go when it's like, no, I should have, like, I just wanted to focus on it more. But now I'm making it like my entire focus of eating healthier, being happy, whatever that means to you, exercising more. Um, like you're making that your whole year focus instead of I'm going to focus on prioritizing this for 2 months so that it becomes a good habit and routine. And then I'm going to move on to another goal when I feel like that's established,
Right.
just like you would in therapy.
Right. Because I mean, talk about stealing your joy for the rest of the year. If all you're doing is obsessing about the same resolution that you start over every Monday or every Sunday or whatever day you started over, and you're just like, man, I keep screwing up. I keep screwing up. Like, that's a stealer of joy. Like, start off with something small, like mastering sourdough, which I mean, I guess isn't really small. It's pretty impressive when you can get it there. But it's a hobby. Start with something small like a hobby, or like reading more, setting a goal on how many books you want to read in January, things like that, where, if you don't do it, it's okay. You just start again. And and revisit it every couple months or so and see like, well, was this really what is this really attainable with my life right now? So yeah, but yeah, in therapy, you always set goals, um, and how you're going to um, achieve those goals, and then you revisit them. And you might not get them in the time frame that you set, but at least you're aware, throughout the process.
Yeah. They're just, it's a wild concept
Yeah,
to me. Um, Another one on here is, I mean, it kind of goes with being happy, but improving mental health. Again, like, what do you mean by that? How are you going to do that? Why are you waiting to improve your mental health? Like, get on that.
yeah. You should have been doing that yesterday.
Speaking from experience, get on that right
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Like, we're not waiting until the start of a new year.
right. Because mental
No.
health is just as important as physical health, for sure, if not more
Yeah.
important.
Another one on here is learning something new. Again, like that's a basic one. I can kind of get behind that one. Like, okay, sure, whatever. Like
Yeah,
that's I mean, kind of what you were saying about like starting small with a hobby. Like,
right.
I would just kind of want to learn something new, but I don't feel like there's as much pressure
Yeah,
around that as
yeah,
there is with exercise, health, even like mental health into that. So like physical health, mental health. I feel like that has so much pressure
yeah,
around it, and I will go as far to say stigma
yeah.
around it. Whereas like starting something new or like trying to learn something new, there's really not that much stigma around something like that. So it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to feel like I necessarily failed my New Year's resolution if
Right.
I didn't learn something new January 1st. Unless you're like me and get really frustrated when you don't learn something in the first like short itty bitty time after
Yeah,
trying it. But I'm working on that, so it's fine. We're working on the perfectionism. And I didn't wait until January 1st for that.
right. Right. Exactly. Yeah. No, and I think with going back to like weight and like exercise and food and all of that, there's a comparison concept or like piece to that. There's a comparison piece where you're looking at other people who have set the same resolutions and they might be succeeding and you're struggling, or you might have trauma that you haven't dealt with that is preventing you from being successful in that. And so, in order to get to that goal, you have to work on the mental health to then work on that. And that all doesn't look the same for everybody. And so, again, another stealer of joy of just comparison. And oh well, I got a gym buddy, and my gym buddy has lost X amount of weight, and she's going 5 times a week, and I have a kid and a job, and I can't do that, and I'm not seeing the same numbers. I just think it's again a setup for failure for some people, and then it steals your joy.
Yeah. Here's another one that I thought was really interesting that was on here. It's 15% of, and this is US adult citizens. So this is all American New Year's resolutions, but 15% of the people that responded said that they wanted to pray more. And I thought that that was really interesting to make your New Year's resolution. And I would go as far to say that there is stigma around that
Yeah,
because there can be a lot of judgment by certain people in the church.
yeah,
Not necessarily pastors or priests or whichever
right,
religion you're part of, but like the other members that are like, oh, you're not reading your Bible every day. You're not praying every morning, before every meal, after every meal, before bed. Like, then you're a bad Christian. Like,
right.
and that's the problem with the church, which is a whole other conversation. But I feel like that's probably also why there's a lot of people that's have that as their New Year's resolution. But like, what does pray more mean?
Right.
Like,
And why is your
like
prayer not enough as it is?
right. And also, like, if you feel like you're not praying enough, then you need to dive into why that is,
Right.
and not just say I'm going to pray more. Because if you're just saying I'm going to pray more and make that like your resolution for 2026 for the whole year, then are you going to feel like you're failing if you're not praying more? But it's like, for me as a newer Christian, like when I was first like exploring Christianity and really like starting to delve into faith, like I really struggled with prayer because I just like wasn't sure if I was praying right, like, or if there was a specific way of doing it, things like that.
Hmm.
Um, so it could just be like you're not praying or you don't feel like you're praying enough. That's kind of more of what I want to say. You feel like you're not praying enough, but maybe you just don't know like how to get comfortable with prayer.
Right.
Maybe it's
Yeah.
not that you're not praying enough. Maybe that it's just you're not quite sure necessarily how to pray, or you're caught up on there being a certain way of praying that you just don't feel like you're achieving, when in actuality, like literally anytime you talk to God, you're praying.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and that goes back to the relationship. It's a relationship and there's no right or wrong. At least that's how I believe. Um, God just wants us to look at him, glance at him, and it doesn't matter if it's every morning at 6 a.m. that you're up and you're praying for an hour or reading and all of that. He wants us to spend time with him and however that looks. And I think that looks different for everyone. So to say pray more, that's again, what does that mean? And it's different for each individual, but that should be personal. I think that's my opinion on it. Is it that should be a personal decision, and it looks different for every single person. Um, but yeah, I
And
agree that.
also,
Go ahead.
it also shouldn't be something that you just like wait until the start of the year for.
Right. Yeah. Like I'm constantly trying to improve my prayer life and my time with God, and it looks different every day. I mean, because let's be honest, busy lives, work, family, children, all of the responsibilities, and I know that God knows our heart. So to I don't know, to make that a resolution, again, I just don't like resolutions. I think that's just the moral of the story is that resolution is just toxic.
Bottom line, they suck, and we need to prioritize setting goals instead of New Year's resolutions. This
Yes.
one is really funny, and I just want to throw it out here, and then we can be done with this poll. But I just think that it's just kind of funny that 6% uh, said this one, and it is moving. And I just think that that is such an odd New Year's resolution to
Yeah.
set. Like, like if you want to move, baby, why are we waiting to
Until January 1st.
to like start figuring that out?
Right. Yeah,
Like,
that's interesting.
we both want to move, but like we're already trying to figure that out now and making that long-term plan.
Right.
And we've been making that long-term plan for months.
Right.
You more than me, like
Right.
longer than me, but
But again,
like
it's
I
like how I mean, I would be so upset if I was like, I'm going to move this year and then the Lord says, "No, you're not." I mean, his plan, not mine, right? Like,
yeah, I know. I would be pissed if I'm like, this is the year that I'm going to finally move. And then come December 31st, 2026, you're like, well, how the hell am I in the same apartment or same house or same town, whatever it is? I'm like, this was not my goal for this. Like, this was not my resolution. I feel like I failed this year because I didn't move.
right.
Like,
Again, stealing joy. I mean, bottom line is if you want to make changes, make changes as you see them, do it in an attainable way, and check in with yourself and say, hey, is this realistic for me this year? Because, I mean, with the year I had, the goals I had, they didn't get achieved because life throws you lemons sometimes and it's hard to make lemonade, period. And it's okay. You just say, well, this wasn't the time for that. There'll be another time for that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even just thinking back to like kind of going back to therapy and setting goals with therapy and all of that, like if I back in August when I was like, ooh, I should probably start therapy again. Like, I feel like I kind of need it. If back in August I was like, maybe I'll make that my New Year's resolution. You know how different of a person I would be right now? Do you know how awful of a place I'd be in right now?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it was 4 months ago, like 3.5 months ago. But could you imagine if I had waited to be like, nope, on January 1st, then I'll really start looking at
Right.
prioritizing my mental health instead of just being like, no, I kind of need it right now.
Right. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. I mean, if your doctor tells you that you have a diagnosis, you're going to wait till January 1st to treat it.
I know, for real. Moral of the story of the long rant. I think I think just like everything, New Year's resolutions probably started from something good and people wanting to be like, I want to prioritize this or, focus on something. And then just like everything, it always spirals and becomes more than it was ever intended to be and more toxic, putting so much pressure on people when in reality, like, I don't know the history of it. And I kind of wish that I looked it up before this, but I feel like it probably started off with people setting goals. And
Yeah.
it just happened to be around New Year's because, like I said earlier, people take the end of the year to really do a lot of reflection
Yeah.
because of the calendar change.
Right.
Like literally because it goes from 2025 to 2026.
Right.
Like that's literally why people do the reflection at the end of the year of like, oh, it's changing to a new year. I'm going to look at this year and see all of the growth that I made instead of like, for me, it could be I'm actually going to look at the growth that I made from August of this year to August of next year.
Right.
It's still a year,
Right.
but why am I only counting it if it's the same year on the calendar date?
Right. Or even, I'm going to check the growth from January to March and see it's the year thing is just, it's hard. Why would you not have a check-in period? Um, and that can be at any point in time, any month, any time of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, New Year, same bitch. That's all I got to say.
Yeah. New year. Still me. Just
New
2 days
Year's
later.
right. New Year, same mentally ill.
I know.
Right.
I'm gonna go see my therapist in a few days and it's a new year and I'll be like, you're getting the same old me from the beginning of December from when
Surprise,
you last saw
motherfucker.
me.
Surprise,
For
motherfucker.
real. For real. I'll be like, it's not new year, new me. So we both agree. New Year's resolutions suck ass. And we should focus on setting goals instead that
Yes,
are
queen.
actually measurable and attainable and really only go for like 2 or 3 months. I
Yes.
think quarterly check-ins are honestly a good idea.
Yeah, I agree. Because that's about what you would do, like in therapy or
Yeah.
anything else that, Yeah.
you set goals with.
Right.
I mean, even in businesses, like they do quarterly
Quarterly
analysis.
meetings. Yeah. Budgets, things like that. Same thing with, I'm surprised that saving money wasn't on that poll because I feel like a lot
It
of
was,
people, oh, it
sorry.
was.
Yeah, it was saving money and um where is it? It's on here. I saw it. Saving more money was fourth, number 4,
Yeah.
with 21%. And then there was also along those same lines, it was also there was one about debt, paying down debts 12%. I'm like, we do not need to wait until the first.
Right. I was
Like,
just going to say, like, my husband and I do a family meeting monthly to reset the budget and make sure, like, where did we overspend last month? Or did we underspend? Or do we need to adjust the amounts for each group? I mean, that should be something you're doing regularly. That should not be something that you're waiting to start January 1st at
yeah.
all.
Well, and like, I mean, I recently graduated college. Like, I walked in May, but I finished in August, and my loans I don't have to start repaying until February. I've been making payments on them
Right.
because I can. I'm like financially able to. Why am I going to wait and keep accruing interest on them if I can start paying them down? I've already paid off one of my debts.
Right.
I used the like pushback of money that I had from a scholarship and just paid off an entire loan. So I actually completed a whole loan and like finished it. Um, but I've been paying off stuff like as I can because I'm not gonna wait around for February 1st or whenever the payment is due
Right. Yeah,
to
because
start
that's
paying it off.
right. Like I wish I would have paid during COVID because they had stopped all interest and that would have been a perfect time for me to do that. But instead I'm a procrastinator. That could have been a perfect time for me to make that goal to start paying on it. But instead I waited. I was like, oh, they're deferring it, so I'll just wait. Yeah. That should have been a time where I was like, that should be a goal I'm setting, but it wasn't. But again, I'm not gonna you can't dwell on it, but it definitely is not something that you should wait on. If you have the means to do something like that, then you should do it. The same
Right.
thing with
And
saving.
yeah, I mean, there's no time like the present. And I think that's the problem with resolutions is that I am or like the concept of it is I'm waiting to quote unquote resolve
Right.
something that I think is a problem. I think we just need to shift the narrative around it and like change how we even go about resolutions and
Yeah,
like
I would
not
like
calling them resolutions at all.
right. I would love to see that kind of that concept change and like not be a thing anymore. Honestly, I mean, there's nothing wrong with reflection, reflecting on things, but to put that much pressure on yourself, it's a lot. That's a lot to put on yourself and to make it such a broad goal. Like there has to be middle pieces to that.
Baby steps. Baby steps.
Yep.
Hey, this is Zoe, and you just finished listening to an episode of Not My Therapist Couch. You can keep listening through Spotify and YouTube and catch us on Instagram and TikTok. Hear you in the next one.